Greetings, sisters and brothers. A lot has happened since I last recorded a message, and I would like to use this opportunity to provide an update on the events of our union coming out of the National Convention. First, we had a very successful convention attended by over 1,100 delegates and 1,700 guests. I am particularly proud of how we set the tone for the convention on Monday evening with a rally in downtown Reno of over 350 rural carriers that joined together with our brothers and sisters from the other postal unions to call on Congress to pass H.R. 7629, the Protect Our Letter Carriers Act. We were loud and we were proud, and we got our message across. And as a result of our public advocacy, we now have all 4 Nevada members of the House of Representatives, 1 Republican and 3 Democrats, as co-sponsors of the Polk Act. I was really inspired by the rally, and it underscored for me the need for increased rural carrier activism. I will address this point in future messages. On Tuesday, we were addressed by Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. The PMG talked about his commitment to modernize the Postal Service as it nears its 250-year anniversary to ensure it will be around for another 250 years. He talked about his commitment to modernize the vehicle fleet, purchasing 28,000 vehicles this year, and his commitment to the public service mission by ensuring mail delivery 6 days a week and package 7 days a week, and a stable and empowered workforce. PMG DeJoy also touched on the Postal Service's support of the Protect Our Letter Carriers Act and personally committed to talk up the legislation on Capitol Hill. We also heard from President Brian Renfro of the National Association of Letter Carriers. He spoke about the need for solidarity at the bargaining table and in the halls of Congress. NALC President Renfro indicated that they were very close to a negotiated agreement that would be beneficial to all carriers. After the opening session and guest speakers, we rolled up our sleeves and got to the work at hand. Our conventions are working conventions. It's the time where your elected delegates get to hear a variety of reports from national officers and staff, acknowledge extraordinary achievements of individual members and state associations, and we discuss constitution changes, resolutions, appeals, and elect our national officers. In the evenings, we conduct seminars on many different subjects of interest to the membership. It's a busy and exhausting week for all in attendance, but it's the cornerstone of how we govern our union. On Friday, we conducted the national elections. We had changes in the directors' positions and have 2 brand new executive committeemen. I have been working diligently with all of the officers, both new to the board and new to their positions, for a smooth transition, and we were able to accomplish exactly that in a matter of less than 3 weeks. My thanks to the outgoing officers for moving so professionally and expeditiously to facilitate the many changes involving offices and housing with no issues. Now, with our debates on resolution and constitution changes concluded and our election results finalized, we are back to the matters at hand, continuing to negotiate for a new collective bargaining agreement and fighting for our political agenda on Capitol Hill. Your national officers and I have spent the weeks since the convention at headquarters getting the entire board back up to speed on the status of our contract negotiations, and we have also resumed subcommittee bargaining meetings with our counterparts at the USPS. It is my intent to press hard to get to a negotiated agreement, but we also need to recognize that since our contract expired a full year after the city carriers agreement, it is unlikely for us to reach an agreement before the city carriers conclude negotiations or start arbitration. I assure you that your national board and I will be prepared to move quickly at the appropriate time. I remain committed to keeping you informed about any developments in bargaining, contract administration, and our legislative priorities on the NRLCA website and our social media platforms. In solidarity.